Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. Just before I pressed the start button on this, I had the most beautiful orbs, just a couple of orbs. As you know, anyone who watches my videos will know that we often see them. And they just came behind me. There you go, there's one there. That's absolutely beautiful. There's another one. It's like a host of angels, I have to say. There we go again. I've been having, I haven't been on a lot lately. There's been just some family business I needed to take care of, and I'm a little there everywhere. I'm a little bit tired and a little bit in need of angelic support. And it would appear, there they are, that I'm getting that today. And I'm so happy. I'm just going to turn off my phone because I don't want to lose this reading if someone calls. So just bear with me. It's too important with those beautiful angelic energies to lose. And you can see them there. So I'm a bit overcome. There they are. It's glorious. It is absolutely glorious and so very moving. Okay, so it seems almost quite, I don't know, well, what can I say? Let's move into the political reading. It seems not apt to mix a political reading with so much light that's coming through there. But when I open up my readings, I ask for the angelic realm to assist me. And that includes Archangel Raphael, Metatron, Gabriel, and Archangel Michael for protection. I also call forth my spirit guides, and I know who they are. And I also ask for assistance from my passed over loved ones. So it's whenever I read, there they go. I've got a host of beautiful light around me, which there you go, which is why it's like a light show. I'm very, very deeply honoured today. I just honour the spirit and the connection that we have with spirit. There they go again. Gorgeous. All right, let's get started because I came here to do political tarot. It seems that that's what I do. And as I said, I call forth a lot of assistance before I start, and I raise my vibration. I do a little meditation. And I, as I said, ask for a lot of help, and it appears that I am getting that. I also ask that the information that I bring forward can stand in the light. I don't want to be bringing forward anything that would cause or add to the darkness that we already are experiencing in the world at the moment. So let's start with that and see what sort of light we can shed on it. I'm going to go to Ukraine today. I'm going to look at Trump in Ukraine, Giuliani in Ukraine. Was Trump helping Russia in Ukraine, and how? As you know, Russia is building its own pipeline. It currently pipes its gas through Ukraine to Europe, and it's building its new pipeline. It had been contracted to Ukraine for 10 years. That contract is up for renegotiation. Russia only wants to sign 1 year. Ukraine is pushing for a longer contract term because the Russian pipeline isn't finished yet. So without complicating matters too much, the two major gas companies in Ukraine are, and watch Rachel Maddow if you want more information on why Putin needs these routes through the various countries. This is always about expansion and money. And it is very much so for Trump as well, I feel, and Giuliani, as we've heard in today's news. Two gas companies in Ukraine, Burisma, as you know, and we know about Burisma. That is the gas company that Hunter Biden was sitting on its board, and then I think it's Nafco, which is the Ukrainian national gas company. From what I understand, and I don't want to get too much into the complexities of that. I wonder, would it be in Putin's interest to denigrate, damage Burisma in some way and who would that benefit? Would that benefit if the US president had Ukraine at its fingertips, and particularly its national gas company? What does that mean for Vladimir Putin? So, and what is Trump and Giuliani et al. Getting out of this? Because we know that there are allies that are benefiting, Trump allies, business people that are benefiting from these relationships in Ukraine. So, let's have a look. Let's just say, show me Trump in Ukraine. Show me Trump in Ukraine. Show me Trump in Ukraine. Because when I ask that question, I keep getting the Six of Swords, which is this moving on, which is telling me that prior to that, it spelt trouble for him, whatever was happening in Ukraine. And we know that because that's the source of the impeachment inquiry. This is the Eight of Wands, things coming forward very, very quickly. Why? What is coming forward very, very quickly? I almost don't want to bring down that laptop, but anyway, I will. Challenged by the Seven of Cups here. So we can't really, Seven of Cups is illusion and delusion. We can't really see what he's doing in Ukraine at all, because he's doing a lot. There's no doubt about that. And there seems to be a smokescreen hiding that at the moment. As you know, I keep getting the Three of Wands. The Queen of Swords is suggesting that we're getting to the truth slowly and surely. And one way we're doing that is through the impeachment inquiry. In the past, we've got the Three of Swords. It certainly is a loss for Trump. And I am drawn to the seas, the overseas aspect of this card. I'm using Tarot of the Illuminati here. Judgment, whatever he's been doing, it is coming to an inevitable end and conclusion, and he's being judged for it. The Seven of Wands, he's having to defend his actions. So we're getting a really good look. Show me Trump in Ukraine. The cards are showing us Trump in Ukraine. What's happening now? The Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is interesting because this Queen of Pentacles continually comes up. It's around domestic security. It's around having enough financial means for yourself, for your business, for your home, for your family. It's also about gathering finances together as well. This queen look what she's gathered. So regardless of gender, this queen is gathering things to her. This is what is happening now. We've got the Ace of Wands, and that is a new start. So what is happening now? In some way, I do feel that this is the evidence that is being gathered, and it will lead in some way to some sort of new start. The hopes and the fears, well, of course, the Queen of Cups, that there's going to be something revealed here. And that Queen, if you look at her face, she's every intention of bringing forward what she needs to do and what we need to know. Now, the Prince of Cups, this is an offer. Show me Trump in Ukraine. Show me Trump in Ukraine. An offer. Again, this seduction that came forward. To me, this is all around business deals. It's all around meeting with, I guess, having leverage as well. This knight comes in and basically comes in very quickly and takes what he wants. The Ten of Wands, it is hard going at the moment as a result of Trump's actions in the past. And we've got the Eight of Cups. Of course, as you know, this is my card for Trump moving away, resigning, standing down as a result. So show me as a result of what's occurred in the past. So it tells me that whatever he was doing in Ukraine has really provoked what we're seeing now, but I still don't think that we've got to the bottom of it yet, but it seems to be indicating that we will. We've got the Death card, what's happening in real time at the base of the pack. This is endings of some description. It's a pretty bleak card in this deck, in this Illuminati Tarot deck. Pretty bleak. This is the almost the night of of endings, of death. this is a barren landscape. This is something that has to be over, and it is going to be over, and I wouldn't underestimate that card at all. The Prince of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. This is, really, I think, the people that are flipping on Trump. Prince of Pentacles, those people, we saw this card come up for Ambassador Sondland, who basically testified against Trump. It's seeming to suggest that one of the things that will take Trump down are those that are going to flip on him. And we've got the Five of Swords, we've got the abuse of power, and we've got justice coming forward. So, show me Trump in Ukraine now. Okay, so that's what we're getting there. I'm now going to, I just want to draw a couple of cards for Show Me Giuliani in Ukraine. But then I want to get into some specifics without making this reading too complex or long, because I'm still absolutely blown away by the amount of orbs that were coming through at the beginning of this reading. But we will get into some specific questions. Has Trump been wheeling and dealing overseas, and what's he getting out of it? And is the Trump organisation benefiting? Because we don't really know what's going on with the Trump organisation, because we haven't seen Trump's tax returns. We just know that he put it in some kind of trust. We don't know too many details about that. We know that his sons are still managing, the business is still operational. But we don't know what he's deriving, what he has derived in the past from overseas interests, and what he continues to derive. We do know that he's fighting tooth and nail to hold back his tax returns. Why would that be? Because that is the money trail. So let's have a look at, quickly, Giuliani in Ukraine. Let's have a look at Giuliani in Ukraine. Okay, let's have a look at Giuliani in Ukraine. Giuliani, tell me, show me Spirit Giuliani in Ukraine. I'm just hearing the ching, ching, ching of money, and we know that he's denying that he did actually go through with those contracts that he was asked to work for various actors in Ukraine. He's saying that they never ever were completed, but we don't know that. He is being investigated at the moment, and the truth has a way of coming out in the end. Show me Giuliani in Ukraine. Show me Giuliani in Ukraine. I just get an idea of you in the US, a businessman and those that surround him, Wilbur Ross, Mnuchin, etc. A businessman and businessmen were put in charge of the American government. Those businessmen, some of them, had fairly strong ties historically to Russian oligarchs, Ukrainian oligarchs, and the kind of Russian money that filters, or perhaps in some way, in a clandestine way even, that filters through the American economy in some way. So we know that's what has occurred. We put businessmen and businessmen who have ties with Russian oligarchs and Ukrainian oligarchs in charge of the US government. Okay, so we know that. How is that going to play out, do you think? All right, so show me Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York, a former crime fighter as an attorney general of New York too. In a lot of hot water, says he's going to flip if he talks about having insurance on this president. That reading showed that part of what will take Trump down will be those around him who will eventually flip. So, we're talking almost like investigation and prosecution of a mob here, aren't we? Show me Ukraine. Show me Giuliani in Ukraine. Giuliani in Ukraine. Giuliani in Ukraine. Okay, so we've got the Five of Wands. So there was an abuse, some sort of an abuse of power here. And we know that. That's absolutely right. The Four of Cups, there was a disappointment there. He lost, but he also took something as well. So if he turned down contracts, there's something that he didn't turn down that is likely to come forward. The Ace of Swords, why is it likely to come forward? Because he is really under the under the investigation of the SDNY, but also the House. Whenever I read on the SDNY investigation, I get that it is dovetailing with the House investigation. Will Giuliani be subpoenaed? I think the Democrats have a lot up their sleeve, as I said in my last reading, that we currently don't know about. The Four of Swords, suggesting that Giuliani will be, this is somebody that doesn't do too well in the battle, does it? So he's in the fight of his life, of his career, perhaps indeed for, from prosecution or indictment. And this card is showing he's going to retreat, be mortally wounded in some way. The Ten of Swords, Giuliani is going to face his downfall. This is a completion and ending. It's going to be a source. Let me bring the laptop down. It's going to, sorry about that. It's going to be a source of disappointment in some way for Giuliani. This is going to be, I think, this being let down, being thrown under the bus by Trump, who's now denying he ordered Giuliani to do this in Ukraine, to investigate the Bidens, etc. In equivalent of being thrown under the bus. And I think, not just my readings, but other psychic readings, tarot readings, suggested Trump would do that. It is a downfall for him, and he is pretty disappointed. The question is, what's this cup also there for? Somebody is going to make an offer to him. And we've got the Three of Cups here. Show me Giuliani in Ukraine. He wasn't acting alone. This could be Parnas and Igor Fruman, the Three Amigos, as they're currently being referred to. But I also think that this could be Giuliani, Pompeo, and Trump. Could be any number of these actors at the moment. We have the Prince of Swords or the Knight of Swords. There is this truth coming forward. Show me Giuliani in Ukraine. The Seven of Swords. He was attempting to get away with something that he shouldn't have, and now we've got illumination. If you look at this Sun card, we do have somebody within that, I guess, sun image there, or symbol of the sun, who's actually looking and really has the control here. So what he has been doing in Ukraine is currently being illuminated with this Prince of Swords there as well. So show me Giuliani in Ukraine. We can see he's been doing business. He's not been alone, and we can see that the Trump denying he ordered Giuliani is actually a source of fairly strong bitterness and disappointment to Giuliani. However, there's that cup hanging in mid-air there. So Giuliani almost has that up his sleeve. He has that ace, that cup up his sleeve. The question is, how's he going to use it? He's an experienced attorney and prosecutor. He would have something that he could bring forward, and I feel that's exactly what he's going to do. Okay, has Trump been wheeling and dealing overseas, and for whom? So let's just go to Russia. Has Trump been helping Russia in Ukraine is the question. Has Trump been helping Russian interests in Ukraine, particularly around casting doubt, isolating Burisma? I guess who benefits then is the question. And how is the other gas company, Ukrainian National Gas Company, is that then more pliable for manipulation by Trump and potentially Russia? Has Trump been assisting Russian interests in Ukraine? Okay, so we've got the Five of Swords. There's definitely been an abuse of power here. Yeah, what else can I say? Challenged by the Prince of Swords, the truth coming out. So I do feel that we're at the tip of the iceberg with this. I don't feel that we know the extent of what's going on here, because with that Seven of Cups originally, it's showing that things are being hidden from us still. We've got something coming to an inevitable end, and there's judgment around it as well. the Two of Pentacles, juggling and manipulation. This is all about trade, I feel, and potentially in the past, clearing away for Russian interests. We've got, sorry, this is the Five of Wands. I think I said it was the Five of Swords in the last reading. This is around obstacles and challenges, but it is the kind of use of the GOP that we're seeing now. They are falling in behind Trump and fighting his battles for him, and there's this gaslighting. However, what they're doing is they're covering for Russia. They're covering from a businessman who's really what appears to be, and perhaps history may or may not show this, who has been potentially wheeling and dealing while he's been in office. There is justice coming. There is justice coming here. The sword of truth and balance. Okay, we've got the devil. I think it's pretty clear. The attachment between, or the relationship between Trump and Putin. This is greed and avarice, basically. That's in the here and now. He's feeling some anxiety that this whole truth and nothing but the truth will actually come out. We've got hopes and fears, new beginnings. I think he absolutely fears losing the next election and facing justice, but I think it's going to come before that, as I've always said, because we've got the Chariot here. This is another yes card. Was he helping Russian interests in Ukraine? He absolutely was. We've got the King of Pentacles being my card for Trump the businessman. He was getting a benefit in some way. We also have the Star of Hope. And so I think this is really an important card. I do believe that's why we had a lot of light showing up at the beginning of this reading. When you're faced with these kind of conditions where you think something is overpowering you, where the forces of greed, there we go, there's another orb, where the forces of greed and avarice are overwhelming because they're the very people who are holding power in a country and are wreaking such havoc across the world, all for the almighty dollar, all for the almighty dollar. When you have this, it's really important not to lose hope. And I keep hearing and I keep seeing this card in the last couple of weeks. In fact, someone out of the blue yesterday came up to me that I didn't know, told me about a problem they were having. And I suggested that, things will work out. I was sure of that. And they said, so there is hope. Now, I think there's always hope one way or another. And I think we only have to see, to look around us really, and to notice the unseen and how the divine is operating in our life, to understand that there is always hope. There is absolutely always hope. So this card here has been very important to what we're seeing now. The truth is unfolding and justice will be done. Let's have a look at the base of the pack here. We've got Temperance, again a rebalancing. Those of you who watch my readings for long enough understand that the month of December, January and February, I feel are going to be very, very critical. I have an intuition that this will see the beginning of the ending of the Trump presidency. You're also not very far away from an election as well, but we'll update that reading as I go on. I've always felt that he will walk away, he will resign, that he will be forced out of office in some way by the truth, not in some way, by the truth. We've got the Temperance card. When will that happen, Tarot? I can't give you an exact timeline on that. I can just say that what I feel intuitively, what the cards are telling me intuitively, is that December, January, and also astrologically, you can consult any of the good astrologers on YouTube or anywhere else, are saying the same thing, that we're going to see bombshell information coming for December, January, and perhaps even into February. We've got the Five of Cups here, and this is going to be quite shocking. This is a loss, but it's also a shock as well, shock waves. And we have the Two of Cups. Again, I feel this is the relationships and the collaborations. that are likely to be revealed. And we have the Three of Cups again, those circles of support, both the 2 and the 3. And we have our beautiful Queen of Cups coming through here with revelations, with taking the lid off that cup. So I wouldn't, I guess, get too tied up as, is this a woman that's going to bring Trump down? I do feel the Queen of Cups energy is a firm, nurturing. It's like that King of Cups, firm, nurturing energy, but also that an energy that is revelationary, and at some point will be revealed in the best interests, I think, of all of us. I just want to tie this in then. What's going on with the Trump Organization tax returns at this point in time? I just want to ask that question. Now, that's matters before the Supreme Court. Readings in the past have shown it would go to the Supreme Court. And that the Supreme Court would be unlikely to overturn, I hope I'm right, overturn the lower court's rulings on Trump's tax returns. Let's have a look at remembering that you have a businessman and businessmen in cabinet positions running the US. We have massive changes in foreign policy. We have multiple wins for Vladimir Putin and Russia. What did we expect? Let's have a look at Trump, at the Trump Organization, and remembering also that this truth is coming forward for lessons, to learn the lessons. Let's hope that we do learn these lessons. At least, we've got a new generation coming through. Perhaps they're going to learn from our mistakes. Show me the Trump Organization. Show me the Trump Organization, Spirit. Show me the Trump Organization. I'm just seeing an old-fashioned counting room and lots of piles of money. Okay, so five of wands. This is the obstacles, challenges, the gaslighting, the trying hard to fight. This is a fight with this 5 of wands here. And I think more so in this deck than any other deck, because these people are actually battling. It's sort of like an equal battle as well, which makes the Supreme Court decision really important. Challenged by an abuse of power here. Okay, show me the Trump Organization. Okay, we've got the 8 of Pentacles, the counting room. Okay, the accumulation of money, the making of money. It is the engine room, and how do we shed light on what's going on in that engine room? We do so through his taxes. Here's this Queen of Pentacles again. And that's interesting because I think I'm getting clarity on who this is and what this is and why this keeps coming up. This is in the past position. This is somebody that, this is as much and all as the King of Pentacles represents Trump, the businessman. I do feel this Queen is about gathering money, gathering the harvest, everything that this Queen needs to feed her family, to keep her dynasty alive, to keep things, in the same way that they've always been. And it takes a lot of gathering to do that. So I do feel this is Trump Organization, Trump and his children, the past. This is in the past position, and I think it's how they operated in the past. So let's keep going. We've got the Sun card. We've got as a potential future. This is illumination. So I feel that what's going on there, what has been going on, is going to be quite illuminated in all its detail. I feel at some point we're going to get to see exactly what is happening with this 5 of Swords. Now we've got the King of Pentacles in the future. Now, in the immediate future, sitting right next to the 5 of Swords, this abuse of power. So if this was the Trump Organization in the past and the Trump family in the past, we've got this King of Pentacles that seems to have really grown in stature throughout the presidency. We've got the emperor, exactly, becoming the emperor, becoming the president. So there's an evolution here. There's an evolution of the Trump organization in line with Trump's ascendancy into power. We've got the Four of Cups, so again, I'm going back to Giuliani there and the whistleblowers. And also what could be ahead for Trump. If we've got the emperor here, we've got disappointment. This hand coming out here could be, I said, show me the Trump organization, could be throwing him a lifeline in order to, in some way to allow him to leave office. The Nine of Wands, the hopes and fears, his tax returns, putting enough barriers up legally so that that those tax returns aren't gained. We've got the Fool, we've got new starts here. I think that's for everybody. We've got the Prince of Cups, an offer being made. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles, the actual Trump organization itself. Okay, so it is again the money trail. Mueller never really got to that. We've got the founders of Fusion, the company that initiated the Steele dossier, have released a book. They talk about the Trump organization in this way. I think Maddow had an interview with them so go back and have a look. But it's this kind of I guess past that we see, but this morphing also as Trump ascended into the presidency. But what this seems to tell me is that there is going to be some kind of offer put to Trump, and I keep seeing that. What's going on at the base of the pack? We've got the Seven of Wands. Trump having to defend himself, and really, of course, we've got the Tower as well. I'll just let you have a look at that card. Structures being broken down. He may decide to leave to save his business. It seems to be a factor in all of this. The Prince of Pentacles. I do feel that this is money news. Again, I've always felt that those tax returns would come forth, and there's going to be a lot in them. It is all around following the money trail. We've got restriction here, could even be potential imprisonment, and we've got the Queen of Cups. Again, that energy coming forward. This Queen will have this revelation. So I think I'll probably leave it there. This reading is 32 minutes, so I want to close it off and save it and preserve it for those really what we saw at the beginning of this reading, that lovely light show. Felt like it was just raining light. Again, I just go back to understanding what has occurred here. A businessman and businessmen took the presidency and cabinet positions who have in the past proven contacts, business with Russian oligarchs in Russia, Ukrainian oligarchs, and they are now in power. So why wouldn't we think that there would be still a benefit for them, that they wouldn't use this foreign policy and the power and the weight of America to really do what Russia might do under the same circumstances? It's a more or less trying to move America from a democracy into almost a mafia state, a totalitarian, authoritarian Trump king. And of course, Trump's being aided and abetted by the GOP. Some that don't want to lose their seats, but some also who know exactly what he's doing. So it is all about money and power at the end of the day. And we're getting a real look at this. We're also getting a look at how the law and the democratic structures are holding up. Now, these people are taking a risk. They're stepping off that cliff. They are foolish because things are being uncovered. And I think also in Australia, we have our current Prime Minister trying to do some similar things that Trump is doing, not sort of overturning norms in a way, pushing those norms, and at the end of the day, they're just not going to work. So it's almost like this has been an inevitability. We've been building to this. It had to happen, unfortunately. I wish it didn't. but it did. And now we're getting a look at how the truth comes forward, and why and how, and the processes. Anyone who thinks that the cycle is quick and easy, they don't understand much about life. This is a reflection of life, and there is loss and there is betrayal, and we've got to learn from it. So I'll close down that reading. I'd just like to just take a minute to thank the help that I've received with this reading, and to thank Spirit for showing up today. And thank you all for supporting this channel. Thank you to the other psychics and tarot readers that we support each other and bring forward so much of our intuition to try and shed light on this, and they're a great bunch of people, every one of them. So I'll leave it there, and I'll be back again soon with another reading. Thank you.